Have you ever wondered if the loose change in your pocket could be worth a small fortune? What if I told you that a humble Lincoln penny from 1964 with a tiny D mint mark could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? That's right, one little coin, something you may have walked past or tossed in a drawer, could be a hidden treasure. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting and more specifically, the 1964 D Lincoln penny. Stay with me as we explore what makes this coin so special, how to spot the valuable ones, and why people across the country are searching through their old change jars right now. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's face, replacing the traditional Lady Liberty. By 1964, America was going through a time of great change. The country was still adjusting to the post-war economy and coin shortages were common. The Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark, produced billions of coins that year to help meet demand, including the Lincoln cent, although most 1964 D Lincoln pennies were made in massive quantities and were not considered rare at the time. Certain versions of this coin have become highly sought after by collectors today. And it's not just nostalgia, specific features and minting errors can make one of these pennies worth far more than just 1 cent. So, how do you know if you have a genuine 1964 D Lincoln penny? First, check the date. It should clearly say 1964 on the front of the coin, just below Abraham Lincoln's shoulder. Next, look just under the date. If you see a small D that stands for the Denver Mint, this is crucial because there are 1964 pennies with no mint mark which were made in Philadelphia. The D mint mark is what makes this particular coin of interest. Now, take a closer look at the coin's details. A real 1964 D penny will have a smooth, sharp strike around Lincoln's profile and clean lettering along the edges. Be careful of counterfeit coins or altered dates, especially if the coin looks suspicious or too shiny for its age. Here are some important facts to remember. Weight: approximately 3.11 grams material, 95% copper, 5% zinc. Diameter: 19 millimeters. Mint mark: a small D below the date for Denver. Obverse features Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial with the words United States of America and 1 cent. Now, the majority of these pennies are common, but a few rare ones stand out due to minting errors. Some of the most valuable versions include double die obverse, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks. The 1964 D penny is valuable under specific conditions. Coins with minting errors like a double die or an incorrectly punched mint mark are much rarer. In addition, uncirculated or certified versions that have not been worn down over time are worth significantly more. Collectors pay a premium for coins that are in pristine condition. Even a small error like a slightly misplaced mint mark or a doubling of the date can turn an ordinary penny into a prize worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now, let's talk about real money. How much can a 1964 D penny sell for today? Worn or circulated condition, these are worth face value to around 5 cents, unless they have an error. Uncirculated condition, a shiny, never used 1964 D penny can sell for between 15 cents and a few dollars depending on quality. Certified mint state coins, these are professionally graded and sealed. A 1964 D Lincoln penny in MS-65 condition has sold for as much as $50. Rare error coins, these are the big ones. A 1964 D penny with a double die or a repunched mint mark has sold at auction for over $500 and in some cases over $1,000. Let's take a real example. In 2021, a certified 1964 D Lincoln penny with a visible minting error sold for $1,150 at auction. Another MS-67 red version sold for $645. That's a lot of money for a coin that might be sitting in your pocket or an old jar on your dresser. So, could you get rich off a 1964 D Lincoln penny? It's certainly possible. These coins are still out there in circulation and many people don't know what to look for. If you find one with a rare error or in mint condition, you could be holding a tiny piece of copper that's worth hundreds of dollars. Take a few minutes today to check your old change. Look through your coin jars, your dresser drawers, or that old tin in the garage. You never know what you might discover. And if you do find a valuable coin, consider getting it professionally graded to determine its true worth. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next exciting find. And please leave a comment below if you've ever come across a rare coin in your own collection. Thank you for watching, and remember, the next coin you find could change your life. Have you ever wondered if there might be a rare and valuable coin just sitting quietly in your pocket, in a drawer, or mixed in with your old change? Well, today we're going to take a close look at one particular coin that could be worth far more than 1 cent. It's the 1966 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and while it may look ordinary at first glance, it could turn out to be a hidden treasure. Whether you're a longtime coin collector or just someone curious about the coins you've kept over the years, this video is for you. Stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly how to spot a real 1966 no mint mark penny, what makes it valuable, and how much it could be worth today. Let's dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting and, more importantly, how you might already have a rare penny without even knowing it. First, let's go back in time to understand the story behind the 1966 Lincoln penny. The year 1966 was part of a unique period in American coinage history. During the mid-1960s, the United States Mint faced a serious coin shortage. As a response, the Mint made several changes in how coins were produced and distributed. One of those changes was the temporary removal of mint marks from coins, including the beloved Lincoln cent. Normally, pennies are marked with a small letter indicating where they were made. For example, a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But from 1965 to 1967, no coins bore any mint marks, regardless of where they were actually produced. This decision was meant to discourage coin hoarding and simplify the production process. So if you find a 1966 penny without a mint mark, don't worry, that's exactly how it was intended to be. But what does make some of these coins valuable? That's what we're about to find out. How to identify a genuine 1966 no mint mark PNNY. Now let's talk about how to identify a genuine 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Start by looking at the front of the coin. You'll see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which has been featured on the US 1 cent coin since 1909. Above his head it says, "In God We Trust," with liberty to the left and the date 1966 to the right. Now here's the key part. Under the date, there should be no mint mark at all. If you see a small letter there, it's not from 1966, or it may be a counterfeit. Turn the coin over and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, which was the design used on the back of pennies from 1959 to 2008. Above the building, it says United States of America with E pluribus unum in smaller text just below that. At the bottom, of course, is the word 1 cent. Let's go over some important technical details. Weight: 3.11 grams diameter, 19 millimeters material, 95% copper and 5% zinc. Mint location: technically produced in both Philadelphia and Denver, but again, no mint marks were used in 1966. Designers: Victor D. Brenner, obverse, Frank Gasparo, reverse. Now, most 1966 pennies are worth just face value. But some are much more valuable due to condition, errors, and collector demand. Here's where things get exciting. Certain 1966 Lincoln pennies have errors that make them especially desirable to collectors. These errors can include double die obverse, where parts of the design appear to be doubled, especially in the lettering, or the date off-center strikes, where the image is not properly aligned on the coin die. Cracks, where small raised lines appear due to cracks in the coin die. Coins with these types of errors are not only rare, but they can fetch impressive prices. So how much is a 1966 no mint mark penny actually worth today? Let's break it down by condition. Worn or heavily circulated. These are typically worth 1 cent, maybe up to 5 cents if they're in slightly better shape. Lightly circulated might be worth 10 to 25 cents. These can be worth anywhere from $1 to $5. Certified coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can go for much more, especially if they're in high grades like MS 65 or above. These can fetch $20, $50, or even over $100. Let's look at some real-world examples. In 2021, a 1966 Lincoln cent graded MS 67 read by PCGS sold at auction for over $200. A coin with a double die error recently sold for $150 online. Even a standard, clean, uncirculated 1966 penny in top condition can easily bring $20 to $40 on popular auction sites. As you can see, the value depends a lot on the coin's condition and whether it has any special Features or errors. So what's the takeaway here? The 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny may seem like an everyday coin, but under the right circumstances, it can be worth far more than face value. Whether it's in pristine condition or features a rare error, this coin is definitely one to watch for. If you have old jars of coins sitting around your house, now is the time to check them. Who knows? You might have one of these rare coins and not even realize it. It only takes one lucky find to turn spare change into serious cash. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos about rare coins, valuable pennies, and tips on coin collecting. We release new videos every week to help you discover hidden treasures in your own home, and don't forget to check your change. Your next coin could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Hello and welcome back to the channel where we talk about rare coins, valuable finds, and hidden treasures that might be sitting right in your pocket. Today, we're diving into a very special coin that many collectors are still searching for. It's a penny, yes, just 1 cent, but not just any penny. This one could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars if you find the right one. Have you ever come across a 1969 Lincoln penny with a small d under the date? If so, don't spend it just yet. That small d could mean a big payday. In this video, we'll be taking a close look at the 1969 D Lincoln penny, what makes it unique, how to identify it, and why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for certain versions of this coin. So grab your magnifying glass and let's go hunting for treasure. Let's start with a little background. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it has remained a staple in our currency ever since. Now, fast forward to 1969. The United States Mint was striking billions of coins to meet the demand of a growing population. Denver, San Francisco, and Philadelphia were all minting pennies that year. The Denver Mint, which marked its coins with a small D mint mark, produced over 4 billion Lincoln cents in 1969. With such a high number, most would assume these coins aren't rare, but here's where things get interesting. When it comes to identifying the valuable versions of the 1969 D penny, there are a few key things to look for. First, check the date on the coin. It should clearly read 1969. Directly below the date, there should be a small D mint mark. This indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint. Second, inspect the lettering on the front of the coin. What you're hoping to find is something called doubling. That means the letters, especially in words like liberty and in God we trust, appear to be printed twice, slightly shifted, as if there's a shadow behind them. This is known as a double die error. However, and this is important, the double die version is very rare, and most examples with the D mint mark are not doubled. But even the regular 1969 D penny has become more interesting to collectors in recent years, especially in uncirculated condition. Now let's talk about the specifications of the 1969 D Lincoln cent. A small d under the date for Denver. As for errors, the most famous version of this penny is the 1969 no mint mark double die from the Philadelphia Mint. That's the one that can sell for over $40,000. But even the 1969 D version can be valuable under the right circumstances. Collectors often look for high-quality strikes, coins with little to no wear, and those with minting errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or doubling. So why is the 1969 D penny valuable? It all comes down to condition and interest in the Lincoln cent series. Collectors seek high-grade examples from every year, and certain mint years like 1969 have become harder to find in pristine shape. The 1969 D penny is not considered extremely rare, but coins in uncirculated or certified mint state condition are much less common than you might think. Also, older coins like this were made with a high copper content. That makes them worth more than just face value, even for the metal alone. Now let's break down the current market value for the 1969 D Lincoln penny, depending on its condition. Worn condition. Heavily circulated, typically worth 1 to 5 cents. Not much more than face value, but still interesting to collectors who fill year sets. Lightly circulated, may sell for around 10 to 25 cents, especially if it has nice detail remaining. Values range from $1 to $10 or more, depending on quality. Certified high-grade examples, MS 65 or higher, can fetch anywhere from $25 to over $200 at auction or through a private sale. Let's look at some real examples. A 1969 D Lincoln penny graded MS 65 read by PCGS. That's a top grading service sold for $180 at a recent auction. Another in MS66 red condition went for $350 due to its bright color, sharp strike, and overall eye appeal. Even lower grade certified examples often sell for $50 to $100, far more than a single cent. Remember, the highest prices come from coins that are professionally graded and sealed by services like PCGS or NGC.so. What's the takeaway here? If you find a 1969 D Lincoln penny in your pocket change or coin jar, don't dismiss it right away. Take a closer look. Check for errors and consider the condition. If it looks shiny, uncirculated, or has strange lettering, you could be holding onto something very special. Finding the right penny might not make you a millionaire, but it could turn 1 cent into $100 or more. That's not bad for something most people would overlook, and hey, it's not just about the money. Coin collecting can be a rewarding and enjoyable hobby, especially for those who appreciate history and craftsmanship. Before you go, do yourself a favor, go check that change jar, look through your coin rolls, and see if you've got a 1969 D penny hiding in plain sight. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and collectible treasures, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more tips, stories, and discoveries coming your way. Have you ever wondered if that old penny sitting in your change jar could be worth a small fortune? What if I told you that a specific 1979 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could turn out to be one of the most valuable coins in your collection? Yes, you heard that right. A penny, just 1 cent, could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the fascinating world of the 1979 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and I'll show you exactly what to look for. If you're over 65 and have jars of old coins at home, this is the video you've been waiting for. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent has been a part of American coinage since 1909, introduced to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person, and Lincoln was chosen for his legacy and leadership. By 1979, the penny had already gone through a few design updates. The obverse, or front, of the coin still bore the famous side profile of Lincoln. The reverse, or back, showed the Lincoln Memorial, a design that started in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. Now here's where it gets interesting. Pennies minted in 1979 should typically carry a small mint mark underneath the date. This mint mark tells us where the coin was made, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mint mark usually means it was minted in Philadelphia. But sometimes that mint mark can be missing or look unusual. And that's when things start to get valuable. If you've got a 1979 penny, flip it over and take a look just under the year on the front. Do you see a tiny letter there? If not, and the space is completely blank, you might be looking at a 1979 no mint mark Lincoln penny from the Philadelphia Mint. But before you get too excited, it's important to make sure it's genuine. Many coins can become worn over time, and a mint mark may simply have faded due to circulation. That's why coin condition plays such a big role in determining value. Here are some key signs to check. Clear, sharp details in Lincoln's face and coat, no obvious scratches or damage, the absence of any mint mark under the date, not faded, not rubbed off. A cleanly missing look at the rim of the coin, a strong, well-defined edge is a good sign. If your coin checks all these boxes, you might be holding onto something special. Let's go over the technical details of the 1979 Lincoln cent. Weight: 3.11 grams, copper-based composition. Material: 95% copper and 5% zinc. Diameter: 19 mm. Edge: smooth. Mint locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. Common errors: off-center strikes, double dies, and filled mint marks. Now, the coin we're focusing on is the Philadelphia version with no mint mark. And among those, error coins are particularly sought after. So why is this coin considered rare? For most people, a 1979 penny is just a penny. But to collectors, condition, rarity, and errors are what make a coin valuable. While millions of these pennies were minted, very few have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. And among those, even fewer have notable errors like a double die where the lettering appears to be doubled or a misaligned strike. Additionally, because Philadelphia didn't always use mint marks for pennies, collectors often seek out the best examples of these no mint mark coins, especially from years where striking errors occurred or the overall coin quality was higher. Now let's talk money. How much can your 1979 no mint mark Lincoln penny actually be worth? To give you a real-world Example, 1 1979 no mint mark Lincoln penny in mint state condition, certified MS-67 by a professional grading service, sold at auction for over $1,200. That's quite a return for a coin you could find in your pocket change. Here's the takeaway: the next time you're going through your spare change or looking through that old coin collection in the attic, keep your eyes peeled for a 1979 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Especially if it looks brand new or has an unusual error. It might not look like much at first glance, but these little coins could bring a big surprise. And for many folks in retirement, finding a valuable coin can be a fun hobby and sometimes even a lucky windfall. Take a few minutes today to check your change. Who knows what treasures you might find hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, valuable coins, and the secrets of coin collecting, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got more fascinating videos coming your way and you won't want to miss them. Thank you for watching and happy coin hunting. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, could this small coin be worth a fortune? What if I told you that one particular penny from 1980 with no mint mark could be hiding in your pocket change right now, and it might just be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? That's right. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that may look ordinary but holds extraordinary value for collectors. If you or someone you know enjoys coin collecting or simply wants to learn about rare coins, valuable pennies, and how to spot hidden treasures in your spare change, then this video is for you. So grab your magnifying glass, sit back, and let's explore one of the most interesting coins you might already own. Historical background: the Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln on the 100th anniversary of his birth. Over the years, it has become one of the most collected coins in the world. In 1980, the United States Mint was still producing pennies made primarily of copper. That year marked an important moment in coinage because it was the last full year before the switch to a primarily zinc composition in mid-1982. As a result, all 1980 pennies were still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. These coins were minted in large quantities at three main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, pennies from Denver have a D mint mark, those from San Francisco have an S, and those from Philadelphia either have no mint mark or an unusual error. But here's the catch: most 1980 pennies should have a mint mark, depending on where they were made. That's where this mystery begins. What is the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny? The 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny refers to a coin struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which historically did not place mint marks on pennies until 2017. So, technically, any 1980 penny with no mint mark is normal if it was struck in Philadelphia. However, what collectors are really searching for are error coins or misstruck coins from that year. For example, a coin that was supposed to have a mint mark but doesn't, or a coin with a major strike error that occurred during minting. So while many 1980 pennies with no mint mark are common, there are rare varieties or error versions that are worth far more than face value. How to identify a genuine 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Now, how can you identify a potentially valuable 1980 no mint mark penny? Start by looking at the front of the coin, also called the obverse. If you see Abraham Lincoln's profile, check just below the date 1980. If there's no letter there, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, then you have a Philadelphia minted penny. Most of these are worth just 1 cent. But, and this is important, examine the coin carefully for doubling of letters or numbers, also called double die errors, die cracks, or die breaks. These features can dramatically increase the value of your coin. Part 4. Key details about the coin. Here are some key facts to help you better understand what makes this coin interesting. Year: 1980. Obverse design: Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Reverse design: the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. Composition: 95% copper, 5% zinc. Weight: 3.11 grams. Diameter: 19.05 mm. Edge: plain mint. Location: if no mint mark, Philadelphia. If you find a coin that is heavier or lighter than 3.11 grams, or one that appears to be silver or an unusual color, you might be looking at a rare error coin struck on the wrong planchet. These are extremely rare and valuable. Now, let's get to the big question: why is this coin valuable? The truth is, the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny becomes valuable primarily when it includes an error or is in mint condition. For example, a 1980 penny with a double die where the lettering or date appears to be stamped twice could be worth hundreds of dollars. A coin in uncirculated condition, especially one that's been professionally certified by PCGS or NGC, can bring in between $10 and $50 depending on its grade. A coin with a major striking error, such as a coin struck on a dime planchet or one with an off-center design, could sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Part 6. Real auction. Examples. Let's take a look at real-world examples. So yes, while most 1980 no-mint mark pennies are common, rare variations are out there, and people are willing to pay big money for them. Part 7. Market value by condition. Here's a simple guide to what a 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might be worth today, depending on its condition. Part 8. Final thoughts and how you could get lucky. So, could you get rich from a 1980 no-mint mark penny? It's not likely from a regular one, but if you find a rare error or an uncirculated coin in perfect condition, you could make some serious money. And the best part? These coins are still out there. People find them in old jars, estate sales, or even in pocket change. All it takes is a careful eye, a bit of knowledge, and sometimes just plain luck. Now is the time to go check your coin jars, drawers, and old piggy banks. Look at every 1980 penny you find. You never know, the next one might be the lucky coin that changes your life. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more insights into rare coins, coin collecting, and how to spot valuable coins in circulation. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a special penny or want us to cover a specific coin next. Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're diving into a coin that might just be hiding in your change jar or tucked away in an old drawer. It's a common-looking penny with an uncommon story, the 1984 Lincoln cent with no mint mark. Don't let its simple appearance fool you. This little copper coin could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. That's right. Something that costs just 1 cent might turn out to be a hidden treasure. So if you've got a few old pennies lying around, this is one video you don't want to miss. We're going to talk about how to identify the 1984 no-mint mark penny, what makes it so special, and how much it's worth in today's coin collecting market. Let's get started. To understand the value of the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, we have to go back in time, specifically to the year 1984. This was during a period when the United States Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents annually. The penny design had remained relatively unchanged since 1959, when Abraham Lincoln's profile replaced the original wheat-back design from 1909. The reverse of the coin in 1984 still showed the Lincoln Memorial, and this version remained in use until 2008. Coins minted in Philadelphia traditionally carried no mint mark, while those minted in Denver were marked with a small letter D. So when we talk about a 1984 penny with no mint mark, we're typically referring to one minted in Philadelphia. However, this year had something else that drew the attention of collectors, a very specific type of error. Now, here's where things get interesting. Not every 1984 penny without a mint mark is valuable. In fact, most are worth only face value. But the real prize lies in a specific type of 1984 penny known as the 1984 double die obverse. This coin features a noticeable doubling on Abraham Lincoln's ear. If you look closely with a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, you'll see a second earlobe behind the first one. That's the key sign you're looking for. This is a true double die, not a machine doubling, which can occur during the striking process and is much less valuable. To identify a genuine 1984 double die penny, check the ear area of Lincoln's profile. Look for the doubled lobe. Crisp, well-defined lettering, blurriness, or flattening may mean it's a faked no mint mark under the date, confirming it was made in Philadelphia. If you find all of that, you might just be holding on to something valuable. Let's go over the specifications so you can identify the coin more easily. Obverse, front portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Reverse, back Lincoln Memorial material. In 1984, most pennies were made of copper-plated zinc. They weigh about 2.5 grams. That no mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Error. Look specifically for the double die on Lincoln's ear. That is what drives the value. Be cautious. There are many coins with scratches, damage, or where that may look like an error but are not. Only a true double die will show clear, raised, and doubled lines that were part of the original die used to strike the coin. So, why is the 1984 double die no mint mark penny valuable? It comes down to two things: rarity and demand. The U.S. Mint made over 8 billion pennies in 1984, but only a small number were struck using this flawed die that caused the doubling on Lincoln's ear. That makes the error coin hard to find. And because coin collectors prize error coins, especially those with clear and dramatic doubling, the demand is high. Collectors are always on the lookout for this coin, and they are willing to pay good money for it. Let's talk about money. What can this coin actually bring in? If the coin is certified and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, and it receives a high grade, say MS65 or higher, it could be worth upwards of $1,000 or even $2,000 in 2021. One high-grade certified 1984 doubled die penny sold at auction for over $3,200. That's a mighty return for a coin that started out as just a single cent. Here are some real-world examples of this coin in action. These are not just collectors' dreams. These are actual people turning loose change into real cash. The beauty of coin collecting is that sometimes you don't need to be an expert to strike it rich. All it takes is a sharp eye and a bit of curiosity. If you have old jars of coins, coffee cans full of change, or even a collection you inherited from a relative, it's worth taking a second look. That 1984 penny with no mint mark and a little extra ear on Lincoln could be your lucky ticket. Imagine turning a single penny into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This happened before. Could happen to you. So here's what you should do next. Go check your change, your coin jars, your drawers, anywhere pennies might be hiding. And if you find something interesting, leave a comment and let us know. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos about rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips. We'll help you learn what to look for, how to sell, and how to grow your coin collection. Have you ever wondered if one of the pennies in your pocket change could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? What if I told you there's a specific Lincoln penny from 1988 that, if it has a certain error, could change your life? Yes, I'm talking about the mysterious and valuable 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with a very special twist. This isn't just any old coin. This particular penny has caught the attention of collectors across the country for one simple reason: a tiny detail that makes a huge difference. Today we're going to uncover the story behind this coin, how to spot a real one, and how much it's actually worth. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting and the hidden gems in your change. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, created to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the 100th anniversary of his birth. Over the years, there have been many changes to the design, the materials used, and even the small markings that indicate where the coin was made. By 1988. The penny featured Lincoln's familiar portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Most of these pennies were made at either the Denver Mint, marked with a small D, or the Philadelphia Mint, which often had no mint mark at all. However, there is one version of the 1988 penny that has gained legendary status among coin collectors. It's known as the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny with a wide AM reverse, and if you have one, you could be holding a valuable piece of numismatic history. Now, here's where things get interesting. While many 1988 pennies without a mint mark are perfectly normal and only worth face value, a few were mistakenly made using a reverse die that was intended for proof coins, special coins made for collectors. This proof die left a distinctive feature on the reverse side of the coin where the words America are printed. On most 1988 pennies, the letters A and M in America are close together and almost touching, but on this rare version, the A and the M are clearly spaced apart. This is called a wide AM. If your 1988 penny has no mint mark on the front and a wide AM on the back, you could be in luck. Here's how to check. Flip the coin over to the back. Look closely at the spacing between the A and the M in the word America. If the letters are separated, not touching, you may have a rare variety. Let's go over the basic details of the 1988 Lincoln penny so you know what to look for. Obverse, front portrait of Abraham Lincoln reverse. Back, the Lincoln Memorial diameter, 19 mm mint marks, either D for Denver or no mint mark for Philadelphia. Error to look for. Wide AM on a no mint mark 1988 penny. This error happened because a reverse die intended for proof coins was accidentally used on regular circulation coins. Only a small number of these got out into public hands. Now you might be asking, why is this coin so valuable? It all comes down to rarity. Very few 1988 pennies with this proof-style wide AM reverse were mistakenly released into circulation. Most coins struck for everyday use had the standard close AM design. That makes this era coin both rare and highly sought after by collectors. When collectors spot an unusual variety like this, demand increases and so do prices. Let's talk numbers. How much could this coin actually be worth? Worn condition, good to very fine, around $50 to $150, certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. In top condition, these have sold for over $2,000. To give you a real-world example, one 1988 no mint mark wide AM penny graded MS 65, that's mint state 65, sold at auction for over $2,300. Another example in slightly lower grade still fetched $850. These sales are public record and they prove that this isn't just a rumor or a collector's fantasy. These coins are real and they're being bought and sold right now. So what does this all mean for you? It means that the next time you're counting your change or going through an old coin jar, keep an eye out for that 1988 penny with no mint mark and a wide AM on the back. It's like a modern-day treasure hunt, and you don't even have to leave your home. One simple coin, if it has the right features, could put hundreds or even thousands of dollars in your pocket. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more guides on rare coins, valuable pennies, and tips on coin collecting for beginners. Tap the notification bell so you never miss a video, and most importantly, go check your change. You never know, you just might find that lucky penny that turns out to be a gold mine. Have you ever wondered if there's a hidden treasure sitting right in your pocket change? Well, what if I told you that a simple penny, minted in 2013 with no mint mark, could be worth far more than just 1 cent? That's right. A coin you may already have could be the key to discovering a valuable piece of American history and maybe even a small fortune. Today, we're talking about the 2013 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A coin that's catching the attention of coin collectors across the country. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's explore why this unassuming little coin could make a big difference in your collection or your wallet. The Abraham Lincoln penny has a long and proud history in American coinage. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Lincoln's birth, it replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Fast forward to 2013. The Lincoln penny was still in circulation, but it had gone through several design and material changes over the years. By this time, the U.S. Mint was producing pennies at 3 different facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 2013 penny with no mint mark was made at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike coins from Denver, which carry a D, or those from San Francisco marked with an S, pennies from Philadelphia were often produced without any visible mint mark at all. But what makes the 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny stand out is not just where it was made, it's the unique features and rare errors that have made it a hot item for collectors. So how do you know if you have the real thing? Here's what to look for. First, examine the front of the penny. That's the side with President Abraham Lincoln's profile. Just below the date 2013, there should be no letter indicating a mint mark. Next, turn the coin over. The reverse features the Union Shield, a design introduced in 2010 to symbolize Lincoln's preservation of the United States during the Civil War. If your penny has these features and no mint mark, it was made in Philadelphia. But be careful, many coins can look similar. To confirm that you've got an authentic 2013 no mint mark penny, check the following details. Weight. The penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. Material, it is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. Color, it should appear a bright, shiny copper tone when uncirculated. Edges, smooth, without reeding or ridges. Design, look closely at the details. The lettering, Lincoln's profile, and the Union Shield should all be crisp and well-defined. Now, you might be asking, if this coin was made in Philadelphia and there's no mint mark, what makes it so special? Here's where things get interesting. While millions of these coins were produced, some unique errors have made specific versions extremely desirable to collectors. For example, some 2013 no mint mark pennies have doubling on the date or the letters, a mistake known as a double die. Others show off-center strikes where the design isn't properly aligned. A few even have die cracks or cut errors where a piece of the minting die breaks and leaves a raised blob of metal on the coin. These rare variations can make your penny worth much more than 1 cent. Let's talk money. What is this coin actually worth? Here's a breakdown. Worn or heavily circulated coins. These typically sell for face value or slightly above, around 1 to 5 cents. Lightly circulated coins in good condition. These may sell for 10 to 50 cents, depending on demand. Uncirculated or mint condition coins. If you find a 2013 no mint mark penny that looks brand new, it could fetch anywhere from $1 to $5 from a collector. Certified coins with rare errors. This is where things get exciting. Some certified error coins, especially double die versions, have sold for $25, $50, even over $100 at coin shows and online auctions. In one example, a 2013 no mint mark penny with a strong double die sold for $150 on an online auction site. Another off-center strike version, graded and certified, fetched $95. So what does all of this mean for you? It means that a simple glance at your pocket change could reveal a hidden gem, that old coffee jar of coins in the back of your cupboard. It might be holding a valuable treasure, and if you happen to find a 2013 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, take a closer look. You might be holding more than just 1 cent, you might be holding history. Collectors are always searching for rare pennies, valuable coins, and Lincoln cents with unique features. If you're lucky enough to find one in pristine condition or with a rare error, it could be the beginning of a great story and maybe even a little extra money in your pocket. Before you go, here's what I want you to do. Go check your change. Look through your penny jar, your dresser drawer, even that old piggy bank you've forgotten about. You never know what you might find. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips for beginners and seniors, make sure to subscribe to this channel and click the bell so you never miss a new video. Hello and welcome back to the channel where we explore the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures you might just find in your pocket change. Today's video could literally change the way you look at every penny you come across. Have you ever looked at a penny from 2016 and noticed that it doesn't have a mint mark? If so, you might be holding on to something that collectors are searching for and paying big money to get their hands on. Stay tuned because we're diving deep into the story of the 2016 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A coin that might just be hiding in plain sight. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American currency for well over a century. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Over the years, the Lincoln penny has undergone several changes in design and composition, but one thing that has remained consistent is its popularity among collectors. The 2016 penny continues the design introduced in 2010, showing a modern portrait of Lincoln on the obverse or front side and a shield design on the reverse. This shield represents Lincoln's preservation of the Union during the Civil War. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark, while those from Denver are marked with a small letter D. However, starting in 2017, the U.S. Mint began adding a P mint mark to pennies from Philadelphia to celebrate its 225th anniversary. But in 2016, there was no such mark on Philadelphia pennies, and this is where things get interesting. Let's talk about how to identify a genuine 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny. First, take a good look at the date on the front of the coin. It should read 2016. Then look just below the date. If you see no letter at all, no D, no P, then you might be looking at the Philadelphia version of the coin, but not all 2016 no mint mark pennies are rare. What makes certain ones stand out are specific errors or conditions. Look for coins that have unusual die errors, doubling, or off-center strikes. These small details can turn an ordinary penny into a highly collectible and valuable item. Now let's break down some of the key specifications of this coin. Weight, approximately 2.5 grams. Material, 97.5% zinc, 2.5% copper. Plating diameter, 19.05 millimeters. Mint marks, none for Philadelphia. D for Denver. Edge, plain, with no ridges. If your coin meets all of these specifications and has no mint mark, you might want to hold on to it, especially if it has not been circulated heavily or shows signs of minting errors. So why is this particular penny valuable? The 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny is not rare simply because it lacks a mint mark. Most pennies from Philadelphia that year do not have one. However, certain error coins from that year have drawn attention from collectors. These errors include double dies, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. Collectors pay a premium for these rare variations because they are difficult to find in the wild. If your 2016 penny is in pristine, uncirculated condition, or better yet, certified by a professional grading service, it could be worth much more than just 1 cent. Let's look at what these coins are selling for right now. Worn and heavily circulated, generally worth face value unless an error is present. Lightly circulated with minimal wear, can sell for between 10 cents and 50 cents. These can fetch anywhere from $1 to $5. Certified by a grading company MS-65 or higher, prices can go as high as $10 to $25 or more, especially if the coin features a known error. Error coins or high-grade specimens have been known to sell at auction for significantly more. Let's look at a few examples. In recent years, several 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies with specific errors have sold for surprising amounts. A 2016 Lincoln penny with a visible die crack and strong doubling sold on eBay $4.35. Another certified MS-67 red penny with no visible wear sold through an online auction $4.45. A highly unusual off-center strike from 2016, missing a portion of the shield on the reverse, sold for over $100. These may seem like small amounts, but remember, we're talking about a 1-cent coin here. Multiply that by a handful of coins you might have lying around and you can start to see how valuable this hobby can become. So, can you really get rich from a 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? Well, it depends on what you find. While most of these coins are common, the rare ones, especially those with errors or in mint condition, can be surprisingly valuable. Think about it. You might have a penny sitting in a jar or hiding in your wallet that could be worth much more than a cent. All it takes is a little knowledge and a sharp eye. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and coin collecting tips, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. And most importantly, check your change. You never know what kind of treasure might be hiding in plain sight. What if I told you that you might be holding onto a penny worth far more than its face value? That small, copper-colored coin in your pocket, purse, or change jar could be hiding a rare treasure worth thousands of dollars. Today, we're going to dive into the fascinating world of the 2021 Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify this coin, why it's valuable, and how you could turn a simple penny into a small fortune. Before we get started, let's talk a little about the history of the coin and why it's not just any ordinary penny. The 2021 Abraham Lincoln penny is part of the long and storied history of the Lincoln cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. As the longest-running design for any U.S. coin, the Lincoln penny has been issued in various versions over the years, but the 2021 version has caught the eye of collectors for a very specific reason. The 2021 penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which is why it carries the D Mint mark. This coin is part of the ongoing tradition of Lincoln pennies, but in 2021, the U.S. Mint released it during an era of heightened interest in coin collecting, fueled by new generations discovering the hobby and longtime collectors searching for unique finds. So, how can you spot a genuine 2021 Abraham Lincoln penny? It's actually pretty simple. First, take a look at the obverse or the front of the coin. You'll see the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, which has graced the penny since 1909. On the reverse, you'll notice the shield design, which was introduced in 2010. This particular coin is made from 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, a composition that has been used for pennies since 1982. The D Mint mark on the reverse, just to the right of the date, signifies that this penny was struck at the Denver Mint. If you're holding a 2021 D penny and it has these characteristics, then you're looking at the right coin. But don't rush to conclusions just yet. There's more to discover. Now that you know how to identify it, let's talk about some important details that make this coin stand out. The 2021 D penny weighs 2.5 grams, which is standard for modern pennies. Its diameter is 19.05 millimeters. This is important to note if you come across a coin that seems different in size or weight, as it could be an error coin, which is something collectors look for. Speaking of errors, let's talk about why this coin could be valuable. While the 2021 D penny is generally not considered rare, there are some interesting variations and errors that can make it worth more. For example, coins with double dies or other striking errors can sell for a premium. So, if you find a 2021 D penny with an unusual or double image, you could be looking at a significant find. Now, you might be wondering, why is this coin valuable? Well, the 2021 D penny is not inherently rare. However, it is a part of the ongoing history of U.S. coinage, and the market for coins is ever evolving. What really drives value for a coin like this is the condition it's in. A penny in worn condition is generally only worth its face value, 1 cent. But if you find one that is uncirculated, or in mint condition, it can be worth more. Some collectors are willing to pay extra for a coin that looks as though it just left the mint. In fact, uncirculated or certified 2021 D pennies have been known to sell for much more than face value at auctions. A typical uncirculated 2021 D penny can go for a few dollars. But rare error varieties or high-grade certified versions have fetched up to $50 or more at auction. Let's take a look at some real examples of 2021 D Abraham Lincoln pennies that have been sold at auction. A 2021 D penny in excellent uncirculated condition recently sold for $30 at an online auction. Meanwhile, a coin with a noticeable double die error sold for $75. While these prices may not seem like millions of dollars, remember that coins like this can still make a significant return on your investment, especially if you find one by chance in your change. So, could you get rich by finding a 2021 D penny? It's unlikely that it will make you a millionaire. But you certainly could make a nice profit if you stumble upon an error coin or one that's in perfect condition. It's all about the luck of the find, and the value can depend on the coin's rarity and condition. If you haven't already, now's the time to check your change jar, wallet, and wherever you store loose change. You never know, one lucky find could make a world of difference. And even if you don't find a hidden treasure, coin collecting is a rewarding hobby that could lead to some fascinating discoveries. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more fascinating coin collecting tips and updates. And remember, every penny counts. So keep an eye out for those rare finds.